Paul talking to a church that is in the midst of a lot of evil people. The Ephesian church is in Asia Minor. If you read the book of Acts, you will know that it was in Ephesus, that they had the goddess Diana. That goddess was one that the whole city worshipped. When Paul came preaching the gospel through that city, that power of that deity was so strong that the whole city began to stand up and cry, "Great is Diana," for the course of a whole hour. Now, we have a good 15, 20-minute praise service, and we're tired. I understand, because we shout. But imagine just shouting, "Great is Diana," for a whole hour. It was like a pandemonium had taken over. I almost said it, but I'm not going to say it. I worry you guys for this as well. Shouting, "Great is Diana, great is Diana, great is Diana, great is Diana," for a whole hour, resisting the gospel. The book of Revelations lets us know in chapter 2 that when the angel came to talk to the church of Ephesus, he says that I have somewhat against you, and that you have fallen away from your first love. And so here Paul is writing to the Ephesian church, small group of people, surrounded by heathens everywhere. Kind of reminds me of the United States, where a majority of the people are getting to the place where they don't really believe God anymore.
Right, man.
They're turning, they have their own idols. We have lots of idols in our nation.
Amen.
We have actually 3 major idols, besides American Idol, but that particular idol kind of falls in line with the idol worship of entertainment.
Yes.
If you do not entertain me, then I'm going to go somewhere else.
Right, come on now.
And it doesn't just apply to the church, it applies to everything else. If you go on stage to sing, if you're not entertaining a person enough, they'll just leave the concert, even if they paid $40. Because they come there to be entertained. Have you ever noticed how concerts have progressed? They've gone from having fancy suits to having flashy lights. They've come flying down in a helicopter and stuff. You know, they have to be half naked. They have to have explosions. They have to have, you know, the drummer has to be spinning around upside down. And there has to be lots and lots of things going on because I need you to entertain me. And that is the society that we live in. That's one of the deities that we worship. We worship entertainment. It makes it very difficult for learning. When you look at our school system, our kids are coming out, they're not as educated as they used to be because they're in class wanting to be entertained. They're sitting there with their little cell phones, texting one another, which is nothing more than just a form of entertainment. Since you, teacher, won't entertain me, I'm bored, I'm going to entertain myself. I've never seen so many bored young folks.
Amen.
And it's because we have gotten to a place where if there's not this consistent influx of entertainment, then somehow I'm missing out on something. It's nothing but idol worship. The adults are the same way. They have to have their sports. It's nothing but an idol god of entertainment. We know if the game is not on, sometimes we feel like something's missing. You know, so there has to be. They have increased the number of baseball games. They have increased the number of football games. Soccer has gone world, national or international now. It's a really big thing. And why have they done that? Because everything has to overlap so that you can continually be entertained, so that there's no gap in between. There used to be a time when the football season ended, then you have a little break, and then the baseball season would start, and vice versa. But it's not like that now. Now football and baseball, same time, because there has to be that overlapping, because they know that the adults will have a fit if they go over to TGI Friday and the game's not on. There has to be this constant, ongoing entertainment. Can you say amen?
Amen.
I'm not saying these things to your shame. I'm saying these things so you can understand that the Ephesian church was in the midst of a situation that's not unlike our situation. We might not have a big idol god named Diana, but we have the same principle of where our heart is connected to something other than Jesus. There is the entertainment god, and then there's the toys god. I have to watch myself because, you know, many times I get caught up on the toys idol. Hello, somebody. You know, I have to have my Mac. I have to have my iPhone. I have to have all the little cutesy little things that are nothing but really toys.
Amen.
You know, and you have to have your SUV, and people have to have their little motorcycle, and they have to have their helicopters. And, you know, we come to church on Sunday morning, and, you know, sometimes I think I'm going to church early. I might get up at 7:30 and leave by 8, and those guys are out there at 6 in the morning flying their helicopters. You know, they have the little portable, you know, those things cost about $600-700. You really invest in those things, and they're very faithful. I can't remember a Sunday when they're not there. You know, it's not, you know, they're more faithful to that than I am to preaching. You know, that's because that is really their God. That is their idol. It's their toys. And so our society, we have the idol. It's a toy idol. You know, whether it's rims, you got your 32s, your 28s, your bling bling, all these kind of things. But we spend much time, you know, polishing. We spend money on things like a buffer to just really, you know, buff that fender out, get that shine going. You know, 6 in the morning, you're up early, and you really, you got that buff going on, and you know it's gonna rain that day. And you see the clouds, but you're so committed to that thing that you don't care if it rains, that you'll just buff it out the next day.